Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're taking a look at my top 10 favourite Victorinox Swiss Army knives. There's everything in there from 58mm up to the 93mm. I wanted to keep this as UK legal as possible. As you know, I'm a UK channel. I want to give my subscribers and viewers things to look out for, knives to really go for in the UK and what you can carry safely without any sort of worry. But these are my top favourites. Top 10 favourites. Yours may differ depending on what your sort of carry needs are, what you like to carry, what you don't like to carry. But I thought we'd just go over my favourite top 10 and dive right into it really. So I'm going to start off with some 58mm, and this one might not be a surprise to anyone. It is the Classic or the Classic SD, depending on which one you pick up. This one here I've got is the Classic, so it's minus the small flathead screwdriver, but you do get this nice little pen blade on there. You also get the keyring, of course, the nail file and nail cleaner. Of course, if it was the Classic SD, you'd have a flattened area up here for the little screwdriver. You also get the scale tools, which is the tweezers and the toothpick. And along with that, you get the very useful little scissors. And I do think this is one of the best sizes to have on your keychain or on your keys. Anything bigger than this kind of gets a bit cumbersome or a bit irritating, but 58mm is perfect for me, and I have either a Classic or some other options from the 58mm range on my keys all the time. But Classic or Classic SD, a great one to start you off, even to give as a gift to a non-knife person. I think it's a great way to go. So number one, we've got the Classic or the Classic SD. Moving up from that is I think probably my favourite 58mm pattern at the time, and this is the Rambler. And the way I like to look at this is it's more like a compact mini champ. So you just have all the essential tools rather than the bits and pieces you may not use. Of course, I've changed this to some forest green scales. We do have that combo tool on there with the cap lifter, wire bender, and the 3D screwdriver on there, which is also magnetic, the Phillips. We have the pen blade on here too. On the back then, we have the SD blade, as it would be on the Classic SD, with the small flathead screwdriver and the nail file. And then as well, you get the scissors on there too. And this just makes it really like the all-round great for a keychain carry, or like a, like on the side of your pack, or maybe around your neck as like a neck knife if you're in the UK. This really doesn't make it the next best thing for that, really. I think this is a fantastic model. Of course, again, we get the tweezers and the toothpick on there as well. So the Victorinox Rambler. Moving on to something a bit bigger. This is an 84mm. This is the Victorinox Bantam. And of course, this is in the A-lock scales. You can get this in the red Celador as well. And it does have then the toothpick and the tweezers as well as a keyring. But for a minimalist carry, honestly, this is very hard to beat. I mean, look at the profile of this thing. Look how thin it is. What have we got? Not even 1/4 of an inch. And then you've got the full length, 3 1/4. You have that really nice spear point blade. Always comes razor sharp. And then along with that, you get the combo tool on there as well, which can be used as a tin opener, cap lifter, wire bender, flathead screwdriver, and the positive number 2 driver if you use the corner. So really, for a minimalist carry, what more could you want than the Bantam? If maybe you're wearing a suit, you want something really lightweight, another fantastic option, one that's going to be really great carry. Definitely one I would really recommend. A-Lock's one can be a little bit more expensive, so if you want to try out the Bantam, I would go for the Celador version. That also is another really strong candidate for this top 10 list. But we have it, the Victorinox Bantam, this one in the A-Locks. I will be putting links and model numbers to all these in the description, so if you want to check that out at the end of the video. Next up is another 84mm, and this is the Sportsman. Now this is actually quite a new acquisition to me. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like it or not, because pretty much it's just a very small Spartan with a nail file instead. But since I've got this, I've carried it a hell of a lot. It's a fantastic knife, and this is what I would really recommend for getting someone as like a first knife, maybe for like your teenager, or maybe a loved one that wants to start getting into knives. This is a great size. It's not too big. It's easy to sort of slide in your pocket. I did add this screwdriver in here afterwards, so that wouldn't be included in the knife. But on this one then you get the standard opening layer. So you've got the tin opener, the small flathead screwdriver on this one. And then on this side you get the larger flathead screwdriver, the cap lifter and the wire bender. And of course great action on all these tools. We also get the main blade on there as well. And again, a look at the size of that. So on the 84mm it's always going to be the same. We have a 2.5 inch blade length with 2.1 inch cutting length. So all these are definitely UK legal, guys, okay? And then on the back of that you get the nail file and the nail cleaner. Scale tools as usual, the toothpick and the tweezers, and then along with that you get the punch or the awl blade, and then the corkscrew on there as well. Another really solid option. This is one that's strong contender for my favourite. I really do love this Sportsman. It's a great knife. Next up then we have the Deluxe Tinker. So this is one of the largest ones I've picked for the list. It's a little bit pricey, but not like too far out there. And I picked this really for one main reason, and it is the pliers on there, because they are fantastic. You have the wire crimps here, you have the wire snip there just in the middle of the teeth, and then the great pliers on here. They're slap bang nearly in the middle of the tool, so they're really easy to use, really comfortable, and they are really useful. This will be a great one if you're out camping and there's a hot pan on the stove, maybe it doesn't have a handle. You can grab it with this, take it off, move it about. Just a really great example. But of course, Deluxe Tinker, you get the standard opening layer, same as you would on the Sportsman. You also get those pliers we've just had a look at. You get scissors, which is one of the things I really look out for when I'm picking up a new Victorinox knife or one I'm deciding to carry for the day. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be carrying a model with scissors. And along with that, you get the main blade. So this is a 91mm for that. Get a slightly larger blade than the 84. 1 to nearly 2 3/4 inches on the full length, and then we've got 2.4 on the cutting edge. On the back then we have a nice small pen blade. I believe is about 1.5 inches in length. Yeah, right about 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit over. And on the back of that, instead of the corkscrew, you do get the Phillips screwdriver on this one. You also get the parcel hook or the multi-purpose hook, and then you get the punch or awl blade on there as well. So that is the Deluxe Tinker, another really great model. Pop that up there out of the way. Next up, another one of my favourites and probably the best bang for your buck you're going to find on Amazon or anywhere that sells this one, and this is the Victorinox Huntsman. You can see this is a 4-layer design as well, very similar tool set to the Deluxe Tinker, but we'll start with the back on this one. You can see we have the awl or the owl blade, we have the parcel hook and the corkscrew, and I did add plus scales onto this, so I added the pen onto this one. Normally this wouldn't be included, but we have the toothpick and the tweezers on the front there, and then of course you have the standard opening layer that we've all seen. You get the scissors on there as well, and this is what makes it the Huntsman, which is great for outdoor carry or outdoor use. You get this really nice saw blade on there as well. Nice size saw blade. We're looking at pretty much 3 inches. Great action as well on all the tools as you'd expect. We get that same large style spear point blade, and then finally on the back of that we get the small pen blade as well. So really, if you want best bang for your buck, I would go with the Huntsman. They always seem to be on offer, or they always seem to be the cheapest 4-layer model I can find on Amazon as well, so I really would recommend that one. Get into the sort of the last 4 now. So this one we have is the Pioneer X, and this is a 4-layer ALOX model, and I really like the ALOX model just because of the extra sort of blade stock you get on the knife. So you can see you have this sort of blade stock on this, and if I show you on the Huntsman the blade stock, we'll compare it side by side. See there, you get a little bit of a thicker blade, does make it a bit more of a working knife and get a bit more hard use out of it. But again, this is a 93mm, the ALOX, so you do get a little bit slightly larger blade again, still under that 3-inch full length. And then you get about 2.5-inch cutting edge on this as well. You get standard opening layer. You get the saw blade on there as well. And then what makes it the Farmer X over the Farmer is the scissors. And then obviously you get that main blade, and on the back as well then you get the inline punch or awl blade. No tool scales or back scales on the A-locks. One of the reasons I really like them for comfort is there's nothing, not saying that these ones sort of dig into you with a corkscrew, they don't, but just for that extra smooth, easy grip. And especially with these A-lock scales, you get a nice durable finish, really grippy as well. And you can tell this will be a real work knife for you if you want to use it for that. But that's a fantastic one. A little bit on the pricier side, again, I will say, but you are getting 4 layers, that premium A-locks. And I really do think it's worth the money for that. Next up, one of my favourite of all time, and has a very soft spot in my heart, it is the Victorinox Climber. This one, well, not this exact one, but a Climber was bought for me by my father for my 21st birthday. I still have it in my collection. It's a safe queen. It doesn't go anywhere because I really don't want to lose it. But this one is the standard Climber, but I've just put some of the aftermarket scales on her. These are micarta scales, OD green micarta. Of course, they're plus scales as well, so you wouldn't get the pen included. But we have the standard opening layer, as you get on most knives. You get the scissors on here as well. Along with that, we have the larger blade. And then on the back, you get the pen blade too. Of course, the toothpick tweezers. You get the corkscrew, the multi-purpose hook, and then the punch on there too. And as 3 layers go, I think this is my favourite 3-layer, but I genuinely think that's because of sentimentality. Are there better 3-layer ones that are for, you know, that would be better for me to carry? Yeah, I would. I really like the screwdriver on the back of on the Tinkers, the Super Tinker, those sorts of models, but this one just has a real special place in my heart, and it's one I carry a lot. I just love the Victorinox Climber. I think it's a great model. Next up then is the Pioneer X, and this is, of course, the 2023 Knife of the Year colour in this electric yellow. Again, standard opening layers you get on most Victorinox knives. You get the scissors on there too. Main blade. Again, same as it was on the Farmer X, that sort of 2.5-inch cutting edge. And then on the back of that, you get the inline punch. And this is probably, I think this is definitely my favourite A-locks model. You get the 3 layers as what I like to think of the basic tools I really would love to have on every knife. The opening layer, you get the scissors and a main blade. Could take it or leave it on the punch, not something I'm really going to use that often, but it's on there, so I'm not going to complain. Along with that, you get the comfort and the grip of the A-locks as well. So that is the Pioneer X, a fantastic model, one that I carry a lot as well. And then it might not come as a shock if any of you are familiar with my channel or know me at all, but the compact has to come in as my favourite. It definitely is number 1. Out of all these are quite hard to place. The compact for me, number 1 hands down. This of course has got the forest green scales on there. You do get the keyring, the toothpick, the tweezers, the toothpick, and then the pen does come standard on the compact. Along with that, so does the pin and the corkscrew screwdriver. So the pin just slots in this little hole down here. Corkscrew screwdriver, of course, you can just unscrew. On the back then, you get the parcel hook with the nail file built in. As you can see, this is only a 2-layer design, so that's the only sort of back tool apart from the corkscrew you get. And this is what I like to think of. No fuss, really. It's just the tools you're going to want. So on the front layer, you get the scissors. And then on the back layer, you have a mix between this wonderful spear point blade. And then you have this combo tool, which can like sort of function as a wire bender, a cap lifter, a flathead screwdriver, and a positive number 2 if you use the corner. And of course, that is on a half stop as well. Without a doubt, this is my favourite. and it's one that I carry more than anything else in my collection. But there we go, guys. That's my sort of top 10 Victorinox Swiss Army knives. I really hope you enjoyed this review, or this overview of the 10 knives. You want any information on these, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. I'll give you anything you want to know on these as best as I can. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out.